Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a fat activist saying fat people deserve accessibility, as in wheelchairs. This is a fat activist who has previously demanded free seats on airlines, wider halls in hotel rooms, and bigger booths in restaurants, JaeBae. Much like ourselves, the list of demands just keeps growing. Sorry. Did you know that I have a second channel where I react to things that are not related to fat acceptance? It's called Cynical Reacts. I recently released a video on that channel about an old lady who pulled a gun on the cops when they were pulling her over. Things got completely insane. Here's a link. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
Accessibility is for everyone. No one should feel ashamed or embarrassed for using the tools they need to navigate the world. Your worth is not determined by your size or ability. You deserve to feel comfortable and confident wherever you go.
I deserve to feel comfortable and confident.
Using mobility aids is a sign of strength and self-care.
What? If you have to use mobility aids like you're disabled or whatever, you shouldn't feel ashamed of that, but I don't know if it's a sign of strength and self-care. What? Everybody is putting this glitter and lasers spin on their regular lives these days where they try to portray themselves as somebody overcoming adversity just by going to the store.
Not weakness or defeat. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. Don't let anyone else.
Look at all this B-roll of her just rolling through the store. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, JaeBae, you are what, like 20-something years old? It's kind of messed up to not be able to walk around the store using your own legs when you're still in your 20s. I think a lot of people have a problem when they see obese people driving around in those mobility scooters because there are disabled people that could be using that mobility scooter. People that aren't disabled by their own doing.
Opinions or judgments hold you back from living your life to the fullest. You are capable and worthy of all the things you desire.
And worthy of all the things you desire? What? What if I desire crazy things, like to hurt other people? Am I worthy of that?
Your body is worthy of respect and care, regardless of its size or shape.
Yes, my body is worthy of respect and care, which is why I exercise and eat right, you know? It's not always easy, but my body's worth it.
You have the right to move through the world with ease and confidence.
I love all the B-roll. And she just has this like big goofy smile on her face the whole time.
With ease and confidence.
A lot of people, when they see somebody in a mobility scooter, I think they're thinking, oh wow, good thing you don't burn a calorie and get yourself out of this situation, huh? Good thing you're in a mobility scooter.
Accessibility is a human right, not a privilege. Let's work together to create a world where everyone can access the things they need without barriers or discrimination.
Well, I wouldn't say that accessibility is a right if we keep on changing our body. Like I've said countless times, if we make all the seats bigger, that's not going to work because a lot of obese people just keep getting larger and larger with each passing year. So we can't just make ever-increasing seats. I don't think we should go rebuilding all of society to conform to all these morbidly obese people now. I think the morbidly obese people should change themselves to conform to the already existing society. Next. Alright, she's going to be responding to this comment that reads, discrimination is based off of race, religion, and or sex. It's not based off of your weight or the fact that you couldn't stop eating. This is not shocking. This is just sad on your part.
I saw this ridiculous comment claiming discrimination is only about race, religion, or sex, not weight. Seriously, let's set the record straight about weight-based discrimination.
Yeah, let's set the record straight about weight-based discrimination.
Discrimination is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, age, sex, disability, and, or, wait for it, weight.
Okay, they have added weight as a protected class in a couple different places recently, which is fairly disturbing.
Weight-based discrimination, or weight stigma, is the discriminatory treatment of people based on their size and weight.
You mean like when a chair isn't big enough for you to fit in, and that's discrimination all of a sudden? No, seriously, the things that these people complain about being discrimination is literally stuff like that. Nobody's actually discriminating against them at all. Back in the day, discrimination was like when you wouldn't give a loan to a family for a house because of their race or whatever. But today, discrimination looks like when you go to a restaurant and the chairs aren't quite big enough. Times have gotten really bad.
It can lead to exclusion, marginalization, and inequities. Newsflash: weight isn't just about eating habits.
Gonna have to disagree with you there.
Genetics, metabolism, mental health, and money play big roles.
Genetics, metabolism, mental health, and money play big roles. Okay, so when we're rich, then we can get obese. Or are we saying when we're poor? I was so poor that I developed the physique of somebody that has access to a ton of food. Mental health. My mental health made me obese. Well, you know, people's mental health leads them to use various substances, including drugs, so...
Blaming it all on overeating. That's ignorant.
Trying to act like there's no eating involved is pretty ignorant, I would say. It's completely bizarre to me for anybody to be overweight and then deny for 1 second that it has anything to do with food. It's just so completely insane to me.
FYI, some states and cities actually have laws against weight-based discrimination. There are also advocacy groups out there fighting for more protections.
Yeah, those laws are dumb and they should have never been passed.
Weight-based discrimination often intersects with other biases. Imagine being judged for your race and weight at the same time.
I don't know why you're bringing race into this at all. It has nothing to do with anything. You're just trying to pull more marginalized group into this so that nobody can question you.
It amplifies the impact and makes life even harder for those already facing multiple forms of discrimination.
Dude, you don't face discrimination. You're putting around the store in a mobility scooter that somebody who is disabled could have been using. The audacity, strike that, the gall of this person is completely insane. I think the disabled people that you took that scooter from are probably being discriminated against and oppressed since you took their scooter.
Weight-based discrimination is real and harmful. So instead of spreading misinformation, educate yourself. Google is free.
Yikes.
And remember, ignorance isn't bliss, it's just lazy.
Ignorance isn't bliss, it's just lazy. Okay, so you are calling me lazy. Okay. The list of demands never ends, and then they call me lazy at the end of that. Oh my God. I think a lot of people today are just absolute narcissists who cannot see the world beyond their own nose or their own set of needs. I need, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that. I don't care how it happens. I don't care how many of you need to die to make it happen. Just provide me with the things that I want. It's this self-centered narcissistic disease that is spreading across this planet. Next. Alright, now she's going to be responding to this comment that reads, "Things that would make me act up on a flight as a normal-sized passenger. Your body spilling over into my seat because you're too big for your own seat." I would dislike that very much as well.
Well, it's quite simple. If you're bothered by the idea of someone spilling into your seat, then you should be all in for the plus-size travel petition.
Or maybe he's all in for the everybody take care of their own situation petition. That's the one that I'm on board with.
The changes proposed would solve the very issue you're trying to use as an example. But instead, your anti-fatness is showing with your ignorant comments.
It's not anti-fatness to not want a stranger all up on us. You know, I don't want some stranger all up in my seat. I don't know you.
It's about time that all of society realized that supporting inclusivity benefits everybody, including yourself.
Everybody. The word body is all in caps there. I wouldn't call it supporting inclusivity to give free seats to obese people. I would say that's just taking away from other people.
Time to drop the ignorance and hop on board the inclusivity train.
What? Okay, I'm going to have to disagree with JaeBae there. I don't think it's inclusive at all to give free seats to morbidly obese people because they can't fit into their own seat. If you can't fit into your own seat, that's a you problem and requires a you solution. Next.
You gym rats love to troll in my TikTok comments,
What's happening?
saying all kinds of things about bigger women. But guess what? Those same guys are sliding into my Tinder messages every single day.
Okay.
Make it make sense.
She's saying the same gym bros that are giving her a hard time are sliding into her DMs on Tinder. Why are you on Tinder? I thought you were engaged to that other guy. The guy who you made the video with. We're plus-size travelers. Oh yeah, I think I heard that JaeBae is polyamorous, of course.
Society wants to convince you that only one type of body is desirable.
Look at her trying to look all sassy.
But the truth is far more
Dude, get that stupid sassy look off your face, dude. Knock it off. Seriously.
interesting. Many guys, yes, even those hardcore gym enthusiasts, are attracted to bigger women. You can keep
Whatever you gotta tell yourself, dude. Any dude that's attracted to somebody that's fighting a deadly disease, and he's attracted to them because they're fighting a deadly disease, is likely not right in the head. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'd be getting all cocky and trying to flex on everybody if feeders were into me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even see you as a human being. They want to just keep feeding you until you stop living. They're clearly not right. Upstairs. Hey guys, did you know the serial killers are into me? They really like me, dude. They really do. Get dunked on, the rest of you. Jeffrey Dahmer thinks I'm hot. That's cool that there's a human being that wants to be in the same room as you or whatever, but they don't want to like do fun, sexy time stuff with you. They want to feed you until you stop breathing. That's a little weird, huh? By the way, I'm sorry if you can hear a truck idling outside. For some reason, there's a truck outside idling.
projecting your insecurities in my comments, but it won't change the facts.
Alright, so she's saying that the same gym bros that are giving her a hard time in her comments are also hitting her up on Tinder. I've heard stories of dudes who are on Tren, which is like a type of steroid or gear or whatever, being attracted to obese women all of a sudden. So a lot of those gym bros that are in your DMs are literally on drugs. It's a very bizarre phenomenon, dude. You can Google it right now. There are entire Reddits dedicated to people talking about their experiences on these various substances. And one of the common ones is dudes on Tren going to want to bang obese women. Excuse my language. Sorry. Isn't that weird as hell? Like specifically obese women. Next. Alright, now we're going to learn of one of her ordeals at the airport.
My ordeal at SeaTac Airport will shock you.
I am shocked.
This experience I'm about to share with you is yet another example of why employee sensitivity training, a demand outlined in the plus-size travel petition, is desperately needed.
We do need employee sensitivity training. When you see an obese person, you wheel out the mobility scooter ahead of time, okay? Being so insensitive.
I'm a plus-size wheelchair user, and on a recent flight to the SeaTac Airport, I requested wheelchair assistance, as I always do.
Oh, but there you are walking though.
When it came time for me to deplane, I saw the
Why are you using a wheelchair if you can walk? That's weird. Using a wheelchair makes you take up like even more space because it's got these wheels that have to go down the aisles and everything. So it's kind of weird to use that even though you can stand up under your own power.
employee who would be assisting me with my wheelchair waiting for me in the entry of the jet bridge. As I approached her and she realized she'd be assisting me and not one of the smaller passengers, she started to walk away with the wheelchair while making comments about my size.
Okay, well it looks like you can
Even when I
walk
told her I
right
really
down
needed the
aisle
chair
right
and
here.
needed her.
And you know, exercise is good. So if we can exercise, we shouldn't try to avoid it by using mobility scooters and wheelchairs and then complaining that we don't fit into anything in society. The exercise that we got from using our own legs could have made it so eventually we don't need a wheelchair or mobility scooter, and eventually we can stop complaining about not fitting into stuff. See, that's what throws me off, right? You like have all these complaints about how terrible society treats you because of your size and how you can't fit into anything, but then when the opportunity to burn a calorie arises by walking, we don't take it. We're literally refusing to work on ourselves and then making all these demands of the world.
To let me sit down in it. She blatantly ignored me and kept walking. I was then forced to walk up one of the longest jet bridges I've encountered, and she didn't stop.
One of the longest jet bridges I've ever encountered. It was like 5 feet.
By the time she let me reach the wheelchair and sit down, my lips were white.
What?
My oxygen levels had dropped and
Dude, if your lips turn white and your oxygen levels drop and you almost faint just from walking a short distance, maybe it's time to give up the wheelchair and the mobility scooter and walk more often so this stops happening.
I almost fainted. This was my first time flying without oxygen. This woman...
This is my first time flying without oxygen. Well, I don't know if you noticed that nobody else on the plane requires all these oxygen tubes and wheelchairs and stuff.
Just assumed I could walk and would rather me do that, instead of her having to push someone my size up the jet bridge.
Yeah, we're seeing here that you can walk, so why should she have to push you in a wheelchair uphill? You wanted her to push you up the jet bridge, as you say. To push somebody up a hill in a wheelchair is hard enough already. If they're morbidly obese, dude, what the hell? You have no sympathy for that person whatsoever, and you're just sitting here complaining that she wouldn't push you up a damn hill. It's all dangerous and laborious. Can you push somebody up a hill like that? You want her to do the exercise to push you up the hill because you won't use your own legs? And then you're getting uppity with her and getting an attitude about it? What the hell?
All the other attendants wheeled their passengers up the jet bridge, but my
Up the jet bridge.
needs were disregarded. This is discrimination. Nobody should be treated this way.
Are you just like rage baiting at this point, dude? There's no way that you're serious.
Share your story at change.org/size travel.
Well, clearly JaeBae can walk, so they didn't need somebody to push them up the damn ramp in a wheelchair. We just saw them board the plane, and they were pre-boarding, which means they get to go ahead of everybody else. You put yourself in this state, and now you get all these special accommodations for it. And you're simultaneously crying discrimination. Next.
Plus size travel struggles 2024. Still can't fit in the plane lavatory comfortably.
Okay. Can you fit even less comfortably in it this time than last time? Yeah, I remember from the last video, part of you was hanging over the sink and stuff, but you seem to be having even less room in the lavatory this time. I'm not even exaggerating. I was just watching that video yesterday to make sure that I didn't include like the same clips or whatever, and I looked at the one where they were in the bathroom and they weren't hanging over the sink
Still
and stuff this much.
Can't walk down the aisles comfortably.
Okay.
Still can't use the tray tables.
Is that coming down even less than last time? I swear these planes are getting smaller, man.
Still can't go through security without getting an extra pat down.
You have a lot of extra spaces to smuggle things. So yeah, you're gonna get an extra pat down. Are you serious?
Still can't fly without asking for a seatbelt extender.
Okay, what do you want them to do? Just automatically give you one when they see that you're living in a larger body?
Still can't find plus-size clothing in stores or souvenir shops. Still can't.
If this is some third world country, don't be surprised when they don't have clothing for morbidly obese people. Right? Like, that's kind of silly.
Clothing in stores or souvenir shops. Still can't enjoy the pool if it's not accessible to us.
How is the pool not accessible to you? And that was the final clip. Okay, so JaeBae is making more demands, and they are crying discrimination because society wasn't specially created for them. The lack of shame that is required to make all these demands upon the world when we won't do anything to change ourselves or our own situation is astounding. So what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Is accessibility a right? Are gym bros sliding into JaeBae's DMs on Tinder? And is it discrimination because we can't fit into the bathroom lavatory? Leave a comment below. Happy Monday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.